in the world will fall down, revealing India's largest prototyping center right here in the state of Telangana. Very simple, but just a word of caution for our audience. Entire thing happens in less than 3 seconds. If you blink, you miss it. So get your phones out, get your cameras out, let your senses activate and heighten, your eyes be right there. And once we start the countdown, I would request our audience to join us for the countdown. Okay, are we ready? Ready, sir? Ready? Ready, sir? Okay. Starting with KTR, sir. 3, 2, 1. Clockwise. And now when you activate the throttle, the launch button comes. Once again. We're going to count it. We're going to have the countdown. I request the audience to please join me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, seated. I repeat, we request you all to kindly remain seated. We're about to begin with the formal part of the ceremony. We'll just take a few moments so that all of us can settle down. Can we request you all to please settle down, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. The smiles on your faces and the roaring applause tells us that we have done something right. So thank you to each and every one of you for being a part of this journey. And with that, we'll begin with the formal proceedings of the inauguration of T-Works. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Sujay Karampuri, CEO, T-Works and T-Fiber, the man who has spearheaded the entire initiative. He's also the Director of Electronics, State of Telangana. I invite him on stage and request him to share a little bit about T-Works with all of us.
Thank you, everyone. This is a great day for me. Pretty much what I was saying is that my job was done this lunch, and this for me now is just a dessert. So, but having said that, for my team, this has been a great journey. The team put together everything. They went into the detail of the architecture, the design, everything that you see on the floor, the labeling, everything. All the detailing is done by the team. It's a very nice design engineering team we have at T-Works. Actually, I think I have a small presentation to make to try to say what I wanted to say. If you can. So, coming to T-Works, this is something that I wanted you to look at. On the top, you will see a plow. You know, in Telugu we call it Nagali. And if you see the top, you will see the Nagali across the centuries in India. And the last one is a plow from the recent times in India. And it pretty much looks the same. But below, you will see how it is maybe in a modern world or a developed world like Europe. And it changed quite a bit across the centuries. Now, the question that why in some parts of the world the plow remains the same, and in some other parts of the world the plow changes so much. And the key, what we believe, is the word collaborate. So, when a farmer meets a blacksmith, meets a carpenter, that's when they come and make a better product. But in some societies, very stratified, where they don't meet each other, the rich doesn't meet the poor, the carpenter doesn't meet the farmer, that's when the products remain the same way. So we see that, and therefore at T-Works, our mantra is collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. We say it 3 times because we believe that that word is so important that we say it 3 times. So in this world, at this point of time, the collaboration is required across many other domains. Between rich and poor, of course, between the carpenter and the farmer and the blacksmith, but also across a mechanical engineer and a software engineer, between a ceramics engineer and a chemical engineer, between a hardware guy and a software guy, an IoT meeting a smart manufacturing. This is the collaboration that is required. And we created this architecture, and the thesis or the ethos of this particular building is to make that collaboration happen. So if you see every element of this, the foyer, the atrium, this allows for that collaboration, and we instill this again and again. And we believe that is one of the fundamental principles that we try to infuse at T-Works. Now, here is one more message that we believe in, and this message is not only applicable to us, but outside, and I want to talk about it. Many times we think that we can skip something. Yes, in certain areas we can skip and we can leapfrog. But there are certain areas you can't skip, you can't leapfrog. So what is that we can do? We have to speed it up. We have to accelerate. We have to go on a fast forward mode. What we mean by that is you can't get into 3D printing just by just getting into 3D printing. You have to go to the manual lathe, then you have to go to the CNC, then you have to go to the 3D printing. It's the same with our education. What we are doing is a fast forward. What we are doing is we are teaching the algebra, the geometry, the Cartesian geometry, the Euclidean geometry, which spanned for thousands of years. But the kid gets to do it in 2 years, 3 years. Those fundamentals cannot be shied away. They cannot be skipped. So now I come to the next part, which is what can a country like India do? Can we skip the first industrial revolution, the second and the third and fourth, and go to the fourth? Our answer is you can't. You have to speed it up. You have to accelerate the learning of the first, the forging, the mechanization, the second, the assembly line. Use the computers and the electronics. That's when we take on the fourth industrial revolution. And that's what we are trying to do. If you take just the metal shop, you will realize the manual lathe. Then you will see the CNC. You will use the ordinary welding, but then you will have the laser welding. You need to have all that. We need to have woodworking. We need to have pottery. These are fundamentals. You need to accelerate them to go to the fourth industrial revolution. So here is my state. What are we doing in my state? So here I'll take the liberty to talk about a few things which we discussed in the morning today. So this state is founded on certain principles, but this is guided by our visionary, KCR. Now, what does KCR do? For many people, it's many things, but for me, he works on fundamentals. He goes about building the fundamental blocks that every society needs. So what he has done is, he went to 18th century, 19th century, 20th century problems and solved them all in 8 years. He went and gave water to every home. He gave the irrigation to every land. And that is what we mean. Thank you. So it's coincidence that we all, some of us, saw his vision today, and watched the video, and it kind of coincides with the same thing. So what he did is he accelerated those problems, those 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, and he did it all in 8 years. That's where I come to the second part, which is K.T. Rama Rao. Now, what does K.T. Rama Rao do? He builds on those fundamentals, and then he takes us into the modern world. No, no. So what he does is he gives us the modern infrastructure, the pharma, the IT. Now, if you look at what we are doing, we are accelerating, like left and right. We are on a war footing. So, and that was one of our announcements today in the afternoon, in the same direction. So, we need that modern infrastructure. We need the industry. We need the manufacturing. We need the IT. We need the pharma. And that's where we are going into what we call as the developed world or the fourth industrial revolution. And that's what KTR does. KTR builds on what KCR did as the fundamentals. And so here is my next one. So coming back to T-Works, that's what we are doing. T-Works is one of the fundamental steps in that direction. So the cliche says one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. So T-Works is a small step for us, but it's a giant leap for Telangana and for India. So we believe that here, what we are seeing today is just the first step. Before end of this year, the value of the products in this is going to increase by 10 times. And before another year, it is going to increase by another 2 times. We are going to get the most sophisticated equipment that is available on the planet and keep it here for the use of anybody, a student, a hobbyist, an engineer, a homemaker, a startup, a corporate, or MSME. They could come in and make a product. And the vision is that, hope is that with what KCR Garu does, what KTR Garu does, is that 10 years from now, we will be proud to say that we as T-Works played a role, small role, in creating products, brands of our own, innovation-based economy. That is what we are going towards. So T-Works is not just the equipment, it is also the people, the know-how, the collective wisdom of that people, which will help anybody who walks in. So we have 60, some of the brightest people that are possible. So I shall come to the final message of my small, long speech. Long speech. Thank you. Always the boss corrects me. So here is an image that we know of, is Chintakandi Mallesham. I think he is an innovator who created an ASU machine. And this is a very well-known story. He got the Padma Shri award, and he's a well-known person. And he gave a TED talk in which he talked about his journey, which took him for so many years to learn the trade and make the product happen. So back then, it took him 7 years to make that machine. There was no T-Works. Today, a new Chintakandi Mallesham walks into this building, he'll get that machine in 7 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sujay sir. Ladies and gentlemen, while Mr. Sujay gave us a glimpse of what T-Works is, and most of us here have had an opportunity to visit the place, a few of us here have very keenly and deeply worked with us to help us achieve this vision for T-Works. And we'd like to take this opportunity to felicitate them. May I invite Mr. Jayesh Ranjan on stage to do the honors? And so, thank you. And calling upon Sri Shashi Reddy, VP Engineering Qualcomm. Sir, can we have you here on stage, please? Yes, sir. Please join us here on stage. Sri Shashi Reddy, VP Engineering Qualcomm. Can we please have a loud round of applause for Team Qualcomm, ladies and gentlemen? We also have representatives from Team Huawei. Can we invite them on stage as well, please? Team Huawei. Can we have somebody from Team Huawei joining us here? Sri Dayanand Reddy, Managing Director, Vasanta Toolcrafts Private Limited. Please join us here, sir. And Mauser Electronics. Mauser Electronics.
So they all have contributed to T-Works by giving the funds for our equipment. The whole thing is designed at T-Works. Yeah, and you touch this and it lights up. So, a cool stuff, but designed completely. Including everything is designed at T-Works.
Yeah, yeah. So, first of all, congratulating this entire engineering community of the state, and under our dynamic leadership of KCR Garu and KTR Garu. And this is definitely a joyous momentum for all of us, but envious moment for rest of the country. Of course, soon they will also join, but maybe after some time. I would like to share one small anecdote. Our company, Vasanta Toolcrafts, was started 34 years back. We did not even have a fax machine inside the factory. We used to go 2 kilometers away and on a bike and pick up the fax. So we had just 4 basic machines, and today, of course, we employ 1,200 people and we export 65% of our production and to 40 countries. So why I'm telling you this is, we used to line up at CITD, Central Institute of Tool Design. They used to have a machine called SIP jig boring machine. and 3 tool rooms from Hyderabad city. We used to wait for 1 week for a particular operator and for that particular machine. So when Sujay called us here on the introductory meeting, we said this is the best opportunity to give back to the society. So that's how we felt, and we felt that small industries, MSMEs, should not face a problem what we have faced in late 80s or early 90s. So we used to line up at CITD just to get that machine, and our plates get machined on that Swiss-made machine. So we have also donated a machine which is made by Swiss company called Zone, and it's one of the best machine. And all the best for this T-Works, and wish you many more laurels. We will also participate in your developmental work. We have 3D printing, metal injection molding, and we have offered our services to the team. Anytime they can walk into our factory and they can use our facilities free of cost. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mauser, please.
Yeah, Mauser Electronics.
And a special mention, we are giving the same mementos, but you should excuse us. We are not calling everybody onto the stage, but we would like to make a mention of the people who have helped us build this place. Shri E.V. Narasimha Reddy Garu, VC MD TSISC, Shri Arvind Kumar Garu, Special Secretary MAUD, Shri K. Sham Sundar Garu, Chief Engineer TSISC, Shri P. Shravan Kumar Garu, Zonal Manager TSISC. Thank you very much for making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you to all of them who've supported us through and through. And moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to invite on stage Shri KTR Ramarao sir, Honorable Minister, to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good evening. Chairman Liu, thank you firstly for joining us. I told you when I had met you in Delhi that I will only inaugurate T-Works when you give me the time, when you will travel to Hyderabad, and I kept my word. Thank you so much. Thank you for making the trip. Thank you to the entire team of Foxconn who's traveled all the way. Really appreciate Vincent, Andrew, and the rest of your team, all of them. Of course, I'm very, very thankful to all of them. My Principal Secretary, Jayesh, and of course, the man who made this happen. I have to give credit where it's due. This was Sujay's idea, and he has made it happen. He has literally lived through this project, and with the support of Jayesh and my entire team, Sujay has done it single-handedly with his entire team. My compliments to the entire family of T-Works. Wherever you are, guys, and whichever deck, my compliments. These guys have done some truly terrific work. In fact, they had come out with some truly innovative ideas. In the midst of the pandemic, they came out with a ventilator. And when actually I walked into the office one day, I was pleasantly surprised to see a prototype of an electric vehicle. So the list goes on. They've done endless things. I'm eternally grateful to all of them. But more importantly, Chairman Liu, I think I have to tell you, I said this before, I'll say it again. IT is not information technology. IT, in my mind, is India and Taiwan. And most certainly, I believe, with India being a powerhouse of software and with Taiwan doing wonders in hardware, if we can synergize, we can literally synthesize something truly beautiful for the globe. We can come out with some world-class products. That's exactly why I wanted you to launch this prototyping facility, so that we can give an impetus, we can give a call, a clarion call to the youngsters out there that even India can come out with product innovation. Even young Indians can come out with world-class products. What you see here today is just the tip of the iceberg. What I wanted you to see and what I wanted you to guide us with is what this could be. How India really could aspire to actually lead the world, help the world with its product innovations, how this could truly become the epicenter for that kind of innovation. So I'm thankful to you for making the trip. I'm even more delighted that you took the time out, you met with our Honorable Chief Minister who hosted you for lunch today, and you literally made our day. This young state of Telangana, who's only 8.5 years, in fact will be turning 9 the 2nd of June, has done some truly remarkable things under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. But today, you made that announcement, you expressed your intent of creating 100,000 jobs in Telangana. I'm truly thankful to you. Because one of the slogans when we were fighting for the statehood for Telangana was employment. And today, with this sort of a huge opportunity that is coming our way in the form of Foxconn and you blessing us, I think the youngsters of Telangana would truly be happy, and I am truly thankful and truly grateful for you for making this trip. I have to acknowledge my Honorable Member of Parliament, Dr. Ranjit Reddy, our local MLA, Mr. Gandhi, Jagan, our TSTS Chairman, our Honorable DGP, Mr. Sinha, Anjani Kumar Sinha, the CG of the United States, Jennifer Larson, Madam Rani Kumudini Garu, our Special Secretary Vishnu, and to all of my team members here, and to all the ecosystem players who've been watching Hyderabad grow, who've been encouraging us, by way of ensuring that we get that constant, reinforcements, positive reinforcements every so often. And today what you said really delighted my heart. You said, this is by far one of the best cities that you've seen in India. I'm truly delighted that you felt that way, and I look forward to a long-term association with Foxconn. I look forward to having many of your verticals here. And like I said, Taiwan is a country that amazes me. Taiwan is a country that I've visited Taipei twice. I was amazed at what you guys have done. A small country, 23 million people, but almost three quarters a trillion GDP, and the world-class semiconductors that you've created in the form of TSMC and others. And today, Foxconn, a company with 205 billion turnover and a top 20 company in Fortune 500, and most importantly, creating 1 million jobs and sustaining so many cities in China and many other countries. Kudos to you, kudos to Terry, kudos to the team of Foxconn for making this magic happen. And I'm just hopeful. What you have done in Shenzhen, what you have done in China, let's do that in Hyderabad. Let's make Hyderabad the Shenzhen of India. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words, leaving a whole lot of us awe-inspired and so much to look forward to. At this point in time, I'll be failing in my duties if I do not invite on stage Mr. Young Lu, Chairman Foxconn, and invite him. We are waiting to hear from him. Sir, can we please invite you on stage and request you to share a few words with all of us?
Thank you, Honorable Minister KTR. I thought the invitation in the beginning was to come here and press the button and off I go. But let me tell you that I was very impressed all the way from the first touchdown to the airport, all the way till now. I'm very impressed. Let me share with you the things that touched me and impressed me, doing it backwards, by talking about T-Works, first, and then go all the way back to the visit of the sites, and also of 2 sites, and also the meeting with Honorable CM KCR. With T-Works, I was very impressed that in Telangana, there's such a place that people can come here and do so many things. And as I shared my feeling on my way up here with both Sujay and KTR, is that when I arrived here on my way up to the hotel, I say to myself, is this India? Is this India that I know of? I was very much impressed on my way up here. And then when I saw T-Works, that's the work Sujay has been put his effort in and made this happen in such short period of time. And this made me feel again the Telangana speed is so fast. Not only the speed of making T-Works work, also while we were going to visit the second site, there was, it was not prepared, and we changed our plan. And Sujay, prepped me with saying that, oh, the second site, probably there's nobody there, there was no tea prepared, no tent, be ready there. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll just go there, take a look at the site. Okay. But when we turn around, when we were approaching the site, all of a sudden we saw 2 tents over there. Okay. And we saw many people, waiting over there. And that made me feel that, wow, this is the Telangana speed. And this is very, very critical, especially for the high-tech industry. Speed is the essence. With the speed that I think you can do, almost, everything in the high-tech field. There was a saying about, there's no big fish, it's the small fish. It's the fast fish, it's the slow fish. So the fast is the key. So I saw this in 2 different occasions. No, actually 3, correct me. One is the T-Works, how much time you made it work, make it happen. And second thing is about the visiting of the site. And what impressed me so much was the video that Honorable CM KCR, he showed to me about what has been done in the last 7 years. Wow. I say this to him, after seeing this video, I say to myself, wow, what should I do in the next 4 years when I completed 8 years of my term, to be competitive or comparable to KCR's, his achievement. With that, I said to myself, I had to do maybe 400 million, double it in another 4 years. That's very, very fast. But Telangana gave me this confidence that working with Telangana, I very likely will be able to make it. In the next 4 years, we'll double the revenue of Foxconn. I have to emphasize that again. Without the speed, this is not possible. But with Telangana speed, it's very, very possible. So I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all of you that, you know, with the effort that government, you know, put into the state, with all these efforts, you know, try to explore this all the investment and do it at a speedy way. Okay, and I believe you can make it, just like KTR is able to make it. Right. At the end, you know, I was very touched by what I've seen, so I told KTR and Sujay, we are going to donate and complete SMT line to T-Works so that you can have a complete industrial level SMT lines very soon. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lu, sir. Please stay back for a second. Please stay back for a second. KTR, sir, can I please request to join us here on stage in a small memento, a token of our appreciation, gratefulness, gratitude to Mr. Lu. Yeah. This memento, ladies and gentlemen, is, I think
So
students
this is
have
a small memento prepared completely by T-Works, at T-Works, designed at T-Works. And I want you to show it by picking it up. Can we pick it up? Yeah, you have to pick it up. This is the pen, and that's the ink, and this is a holder. And you close it. Okay. Careful, careful.
I need a gadget.
Yes, and you can keep it on your. You can keep it in on your table like that. Wow. And that complete machining of this product is done at T-Works. It has your name and T-Works on it.
Okay.
And that's a gift from KTR to you. And if you open, you got the best.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's got a Mont Blanc, the nib technology from Mont Blanc.
Would you like to say something on mine? Yes. I'll put it. I'll put it. So the ceramic baked in the kiln, the machining of the done here. Yes.
If you can just stay back for a quick photo up here, all I request students, please join them for a photo up. Yes. Can we invite Jayesh Ranjan sir as well for a photo up here?
Yeah.
Request Mr. Jayesh Ranjan to stay back. Sir, may we please request you to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Minister, Chairman Liu, all the invitees, all the guests, it's my pleasant duty to thank all of you who have participated on this very landmark occasion, the formal inauguration of T-Works, and shared our joy and happiness. I'm very grateful to you, Chairman Liu. I have been with you since morning when you touched down, and spending time with him, interacting with him. No one will imagine that he's the chairman of a $80 billion market cap company, and his humility, his approachability, and the fact that he observes everything, reacts to all the requests that we make. It is really amazing, sir, and we are very, very grateful and very thankful that you have chosen to announce such a generous gift for T-Works. This assembly line, I'm sure, will be of enormous benefit to all the potential uh, people who are into this tooling and machining and fabricating. All the invitees who are here today, all of you are stakeholders of this brilliant facility, and all of you have been participating in all our brainstorming sessions, all our outreach activities. But now that this facility is up and running, we would invite you to do more and more and more. I'm also very grateful to Honorable MLA Gandhi Garu, TSTS Chairman Jagan Mohan Garu, Honorable Member of Parliament Ranjit Reddy Garu, senior colleagues DGP Anjani ji, Special Chief Secretary Rani Ma'am, Honorable Consul General of the US Consulate, Jennifer, from CII, Mr. Shekhar Reddy, and everyone else who has participated in this event. Make more use of this facility. Now you have, I'm sure, much more clarity on what all can be really achieved from this. Spread the good work, make best use, and we will be conducting anniversary events and other kind of master classes, etc., quite regularly. So hope to see all of you coming here much more often. Once again, very grateful for making this day very special for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to each and every one of you for being present here. Our gratitude to all the dignitaries, and while our dignitaries make their way out, we request you all to please be seated. Kindly remain seated for 2 minutes, please. Please cooperate with us. Can we request you all to keep the aisle clear? Please remain seated. Our delegates, guests.
We should not, as a country, miss the biotech cycle. We miss the chemistry cycle. We should not miss it. And Satish, you are very passionate about it, so I'm not saying anything different. And we are trying to gear ourselves up substantially for it. What might be required is maybe, from a regulatory aspect, the regulatory policy on biologics is so far behind the global now, say standards and the US FDA policy or EU policy. We will have to refine it substantially to take advantage. Otherwise, it will take considerable time getting the value out of what we can do in India. So we are working towards that substantially. We have again a very strong antibody platform which we are trying to work on difficult to treat infections. So those are the couple of opportunities that we see. There is enough possibility of investment, enough possibility of getting a good return, provided we just do the regulation cleanup very quickly. And obviously it has to be slightly remunerative. So that is something, a very separate subject. But I just always say this because I remember that in 1995, with the DPCO of 1995, we finished off the API industry of India at that time. So we have to be very careful about this from a point of view that we ensure that it remains remunerative to participate in the global supply chain.
Sure. Thanks, Rajiv. Mani from the services side.
Yeah, I think from an opportunity perspective, the way I look at it is, there's a lot of talk of make in India, but I preferred, R&D and then make in India. So do R&D and then make in India. And the R&D portion relies on the knowledge supply chain, not on a material supply chain. And that knowledge supply chain, I think, is a tremendous opportunity for India in the pharma industry, like in the services industry that we are in, and also in any other industry in India, where we have the knowledge supply chain that's based on people. I think we can develop this as becoming the design hub of the world, not just the manufacturing hub of the world. I think there's a tremendous potential there. Of course, on technology side, there's a lot of applications of technologies in the material supply chain, reverse auctions, doing some robotic process automation, which companies like us have implemented. I think the final thing I would say is, last 2 points I would say is localization of the supply chain. And we had taken this up again through COVID. About 65% of our supply chain was local in India. Now about 75% of our supply chain is local in India. About 30% of our supply chain was within 250 kilometers of where we need the material. Now about 45% of our supply chain is within 250 kilometers of where we need the material. So developing many more vendors and doing an vendor development program is an opportunity. And the last point is as we continue to mitigate supply chain risks, try to do it in a green manner. So green supply chain is a big initiative we have taken up. There's lots of things from training people to working with diverse suppliers, women-run companies. We're looking at reduction in paper. For example, our supply chain has reduced paper by about 70% pre-COVID to now. Just minimizing paper. So many green aspects, recycled paper, recycled packaging in our shipments, etc. So I think there's a big opportunity in green supply chains.
That's great. Thanks, Mani. Suresh?
Yeah, so I think Sanjeev touched upon the fact that we will need to be, moving in, and especially in the CEO roundtable as well, there are a lot of discussion that we need to get back on the path of discovering in India, okay, and especially the biologics and the new targeted therapies. These are the ones which we need to. So we'll have to create the right ecosystem for that to happen. And in fact, we had a stakeholder consultation with Madam the other day. And one of the suggestions was that probably, as an opportunity which I look at is that can we have institute to institute collaborations in research? Because that creates, because whenever a pharmaceutical company goes into research academia to search for candidates, the proof of concept is there, and now it's up to us to invest and take it from proof of concept to patient and efficacy and everything else. But we don't start with proof of concept. I mean, nobody gets into academia with proof of concept. So the collaborative research with other major institutions globally would give us an opportunity for us to be on the cutting edge of the current research rather than trying to re-engineer things of what is already there in India. So we will be really on cutting edge. That's one opportunity. The other opportunity which I look forward to, and I think Sanjeev mentioned about the API industry, really going down because of various decisions. I think at some point in time we will have to be cognizant that quality, the cost of quality is very important to be captured in the pricing of the product. Because today what is happening is you have a product A which has X plus 10 quality system, and you have a product B which has X plus 2 quality system, which is acceptable, both are acceptable. But you know what, this A person is spending a lot more on quality, and you have the B person spending less on quality. But you know what, you mix both these products and you come up with a C pricing, which becomes very difficult for the quality oriented companies to continue providing that quality. And sometimes, as global multinationals, we can't compromise, so we have to just stop doing it. We have no other choice to do it, right? So at some point in time, and we were actually discussing, madam, it's there in the Ayush, there's a precedence in the Ayush where you have a standard and a premium product, where, so we should look at an opportunity where quality is incentivized by the government so that we can really provide high quality products to the thing. The last point which I want to make is, when I was walking around in the trade show, everything is about tech. I think we need to leverage technology, and I think some of the emerging technology like blockchain, and I think there was some mention in the earlier panel on counterfeiting. How do you ensure end-to-end tracking and tracing of products? And I think the government bringing in the QR coding for the top 300 brands is a step in the right direction. But you know what, there is a cost to it again, because we were just evaluating the cost of implementing it. So everything has a cost to it, but I think the end-to-end, today when I order something on Amazon, it's tracked throughout until it reaches me, right? And after it reaches, it goes back to the company. I don't think we have that kind of trackability in the medicines today. It goes up to the retailer, and then if I want recall from the retailer, it's a humongous task. I think there needs to be a lot more technology like blockchain, or even in the supply chain planning, you could use artificial intelligence, machine learning to bring about predictive analytics, which will enable us to forecast better, keep less inventory, save on costs. There are so many opportunities. I think technology can be leveraged quite a lot. So that's definitely an opportunity for us.
Sure. So I think especially from our industry colleagues, we have heard that in terms of the improvements that they made during the last few years, which made them extremely competitive, because working through the logistics, working through the digital part of it in the supply chain, use of technology has been quite a bit. So I think that bodes well for the future. I think that's something all of us feel very confident and also feel very encouraged. Also I think the topic of regulation came about. Suresh, you talked about it, and so did Sanjeev. Of course, I mean that's something all of us anticipate. It's also one of the things the industry is looking forward to, and I'm sure the government is certainly looking forward to that. So, I mean, in the interest of time, just to wrap it up with one of the last topics, and then we'll just leave it open for a couple of questions. Maybe I'll start with you, Narendra, because of late, a lot of discussion on sustainability, ESG, right? So even from an investor's perspective, there's also specialized funds for that. There are also, in your own areas that you categorize companies, we've heard Mani talk about, the green way of doing things. A lot of companies have gone in this forward. So from an investor's perspective, how do you see this in terms of a important dimension when it comes from an investor's perspective? And then probably we'll also hear it from the panelists in terms of their thoughts, on how they're also implementing it within their companies.
It's a great question, Satish. So ESG now has become a cornerstone for investing in general. I'd say there was originally a view that ESG funds will do ESG investing, but it's now clear that having a framework for assessing ESG and then having a continuous monitoring mechanism to see how our companies are doing against that framework, I think that's now percolated through the system. And it's not just us as private equity firms. If you went to public market investors, they are tracking it. If you went to institutional investors who give us money, they are tracking it. So now it's almost like has become a sort of standard of what needs to happen. And I think increasingly all of our portfolio companies, it's a number one priority.
Sure, absolutely. Well, that's great to hear from what we see from investors' perspective. Maybe if from the company's point of view, and ma'am, even from the government's point of view, how do you see this evolving? We could also like to hear your thoughts. Maybe to start with you first.
I do think it is going to be an important issue. There are three aspects. One is, as I mentioned, green manufacturing standards could act as non-tariff barriers to access. So, in addition to being able to, protect our own environment, it would also become a critical element in being a part of the global supply chain. So, that is something where investments are welcome. I did mention technology, and a lot of technology is around this. Sure. Second is, I think, in development, product development, there is a lot of scope now, not strictly ESG, but around addressing AMR issues. So that is again a great opportunity, though it may appear like a challenge, but I think there is a great opportunity there. And third, I think, is weaving in, and that is where India does have an advantage, weaving in this paradigm of access and affordability along with environmental issues, sustainability, value, innovation is where we should be able to find our niche. We should be able to say that innovation does not necessarily mean inaccessible or elite or exclusive. These products should be for the community as a whole.
Absolutely. That's a very important point. Access and affordability is also a key component in terms of what drives our decisions in our companies when we price a product and also develop it in terms of the needs that's required. So maybe, because in the interest of time, if you can just quickly talk about what your company is very focused on, each of your companies. If you can start with Suresh, then Mani and Sanjeev. Very quickly, please. Thanks.
Yeah. So today, locally we are looking at efficiencies now in terms of how we market the product. And I think Madam brought about this question of access, and I think yesterday we were having a conversation that if we gave all the products free of cost, does that mean all the patients will be treated? And I'm just giving you an example of glaucoma, which I discussed in the morning breakfast table. 8 million patients are suffering from glaucoma today, and only 2 million are treated. And you have medicines which are less than 1 rupee per day to treat glaucoma, right? So which means that cost is not access. And hence, what are we doing as a company? We are focusing a lot on patient origination. How do you get these patients to go and get checkups in the eye hospitals? My mother, for example, to go and get checkup in the eye hospital every year in a comprehensive manner so that the glaucoma can be detected. Because there is no pain, no this thing, and until you go 50% blind, you don't know that you have a problem with your eye. So I'm just taking one of those examples, but I think that is true for most of the disease. So market shaping or creating the diagnostic leverage or the patient origination or the treatment part is going to be extremely important for access. It's just not about just the product availability or the pricing. It's to do also with some kind of mechanism to get the patients to do standard testing every year, and especially since we are an aging population, ma'am. So this is going to be very important for us.
Sure. More in the interest of the patient, absolutely. Mani?
Yeah, our sole focus is to take advantage of the China Plus One. Just to give you one example, we are quite big in chemistry. We probably are the largest in India in chemistry. We have about 2,400 chemists. But all of India has maybe 7,000, 8,000 chemists. China has maybe 40,000 chemists. And how do we create that knowledge supply chain of, right from schools to industry, that we can create enough of these so that we become the choice for R&D globally. So that's the focus. For that, we are doing a lot of things, from using digital technologies to alternate vendor development to ESG to all of this. But we should become globally a real alternate to China and take advantage of it. That's the sole focus right now that I'm driving.
Great. Sanjeev?
So as regards sustainability, I think we are focusing a lot more on innovation. So we have very strong now pipeline in R&D which ensures that there is sustainability. On the other side of sustainability, on ESG goals, making it very simple, not trying to change the world. We have got simple goals. What kind of green power percentage we will have, what kind of water will be used, how much water will be used, what is recyclable in our company. So it's not first changing anything else around us, we are trying to change ourselves, that are we really worthy enough to ensure that we are doing the right things. So that's probably at this moment what we are trying to do.
Sure. Thanks, Sanjeev. Just to add from our company also, it's one of the most important things. We're one of the first pharma companies to have published a sustainability report, even though it was not mandatory in those days. But outside just publishing reports and all that, it's the activity that we used to do since a very long time, and now we have actually made commitments. This is something which is being reviewed at every board meeting. The agenda is set by the board, and our co-chairman, managing director, Mr. Prasad, G.V. Prasad, he's extremely passionate about this. He's been driving a lot of things in the company since a very, very long time. He leads it from the company, this whole effort. And this is something which has consciously been taken up. And we have taken along various dimensions this aspect of ESG. Also, for example, even in terms of the patients served, alluding to what you just said, Suresh, we said that today maybe our products serve about 675 million people worldwide. We are saying that we should reach a target by 2030 of 1.5 billion people. We should reach that. For example, even gender parity. We are saying that it's a very small percentage of women working in our workforce. I mean, I don't want to say the figure because I myself feel embarrassed. But we are actually saying that we have a target, that we should get to 50% by 2030. It's a huge ask, but certainly we have made the commitment to get there. And also in terms of a leadership among women, we said that we should reach at least 35%, and we also said 3% of our workforce by 2030 should be for people with disabilities. Very tall commitments we have taken, but entire companies rallied behind it, because unless you bring this, set the tone at the top, things will never get there. But that's something we have also practiced in our company. So I think we have absolutely run out of time. Is there time for questions? Or? No? Yes, no? So I think we really have cut short on time. So my apologies, we are not able to take any questions. And exactly. So very sorry about that, that we are not able to leave this open for questions. So once again, wanted to thank all our panelists. Special thanks to Madam Aparna for all your insights and very clear articulation of what the priorities are for the sector, especially not only just from a supply chain point of view, but overall in terms of how the government is thinking about it and its priorities. How it's getting shaped up. So again, once again to all the panelists, Narendra, thank you very much. Suresh, Mani and Sanjeev, thank you very much for this. I hope this has been fruitful. Once again, my apologies for not leaving the floor open for questions. We are really short of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the panelists. May I request Mr. Satish Reddy to please felicitate the panelists? ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all. I hope you've all had a great networking time over the past 2 days. Although we are opening the exhibition for a few hours tomorrow, but we've come to a close of the conference today. So to start with the valedictory ceremony, we will first invite the top 5 startups who are selected out of the Startup Stage Showcase at the 20th anniversary of BioAsia edition. We had about 400 startup applications, out of which 76 were shortlisted. And out of the 76, we had a jury panel of 12 eminent doctors, venture capitalists, industry experts who shortlisted these 5 startups. So please welcome me in inviting the first shortlisted startup, Exobot Dynamics Private Limited. May I invite Mr. Munish Kumar on the stage? Munish, you have a few minutes to talk about your startup.
Hello everyone, thanks for having me this evening. So it's been a lovely evening here, sitting with all of you guys here. So I'm Munish Kumar, founder of Exobot Dynamics. So as you can tell, I'm working on bionic limbs for the people with disabilities. So if there is anyone who have lost their limbs, any accident or anything, this is the way to go. Okay, so how it started it in 2014. So when my father was traveling through a train and he had a train accident, fell off the train and lost both his arms. So we were in Delhi at that time and trying to find a solution. But the most of the solution that we came across lacked some fundamental things, like they were too heavy. They didn't have the movements required to do all the tasks, and they were too expensive. So we couldn't find a good solution and just came back home. But somehow the problem stuck with me, and I tried to solve this problem on my own. So after 3.5 years, I developed this. This is the fourth prototype of our bionic hand. So the thing is, I wanted to target all the problems in the commercial devices that are present there. So I have included all the facilities, functionality that is there in a human hand. So most of you people have tried this also in my P41 stall. So it can move like a real hand, and it is very lightweight. So it is lighter than most of the hands in the world right now. And I have made it affordable as well, so that a larger audience can get this device for people from lower cities and towns. Despite of their financial condition and the class, they can afford this device. So this is the prototype that we have. I'll show you how it works. It's the terminal device. It has battery and all the motors here. Or this has EMG sensor that pick up signals from your muscles. Right? So when you deliver signals to it, it will convert into finger movements. So we have different modes set up into the device. This is the first mode, the natural hand mode. So when you are not picking up anything, you're just walking, you can use this mode. Then there are other modes like the power grip, if you want to hold anything with power. The pinch grip and the tripod grip for holding pans and small things like spoons. Yeah. And the lateral grip for holding keys and all these things. And finally, is the punch. If you want to punch someone, you can use this mode also. Yeah. So we have the prototype ready. We are now looking for clinical trials and going to the market as soon as possible. To do so, I need support of all of you guys here. So let's join hands to enable people and change the lives of 1 million of people who are waiting for such a solution. And it was wonderful talking to you guys. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Manish. We will be felicitating all the top 5 startups in a while as well. Let me invite the next startup, Lambda Gen Therapeutics, Mr. Pravesh Gupta.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? So it's my privilege to be here, and it's been a great 2 days event where I have interacted with lots of eminent people here. So just to tell you 3 stories which led to development of a product which is in proof of concept. Story number 1, we were trying to understand a data which is available in public domain, which is with respect to the cellular composition of human brain. And we struggled a lot to understand what is the immune composition of human brain beyond microglia. So we created the largest data set for human brain tumor patients and identified myeloid cells, which are the first responders against any diseases that protect the integrity of the brain. So we asked the next question, can we find a similar kind of cell in human blood? Yes, we identified those cells. And then we tried to understand what are the molecular circuits that we can engineer in human blood to mimic a brain myeloid cell phenotype. And we were able to successfully identify those molecular circuits. But these molecular circuits are very complex, and no genome engineering technologies can engineer such complex circuits. So we have a solution from Lambdagen Therapeutics, which is a non-viral genome engineering tool which can package these complex circuits. So what do we aspire to do? We want to create a human cancer vaccine for brain tumors that will be end-to-end and produce personalized for individual patients within 24 hours. That's our aspiration, and we are ready to go to clinical trials within next 1 to 1.5 years. And this is a platform technology that can be applied to any number of cancers, and it is not associated with any kind of mutation specifics which are found in different tumors. Solid cancer is a big problem in the industry, and we plan to disrupt this industry with our technology. Thank you. And we would love if you can partner with us, in any stage. Thank you.
Congratulations, Pravesh. Then I now invite the third startup, Pratibha HealthCon, Dr. Pranay Garg.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy and feel very encouraged to be here today. I'm a startup which has grown in Telangana 7 years ago, and it's been a long journey. We are addressing the problem of primary access to healthcare within underserved communities. When I started 7 years ago, it was very boring, not very exciting, but given the background that I come from, I'm an Air Force veteran of 2 decades, a business leader from a Fortune 50 company, but decided to come and make impact. So fundamentally, objective being outreach and impact, we created an end-to-end connected care system in a public health setting that will help in population screening, risk evaluation, and pushing the base of pyramid into the care continuum to be able to either be treated for chronic diseases or be referred to hospitals. So we fundamentally fill that space outside of hospitals into underserved communities. From an impact perspective, over the last 5 years, our solutions would have touched more than 5 million people. We have worked with leading healthcare providers, one within Hyderabad, Apollo Telehealth. We are also currently working with the northeastern state, where all the 16 districts use our solution. We have screened about 300,000 people over the last 10 months, done about 10,000 consultations with remote patient monitoring and teleconsultation, and we have about 1,800 healthcare workers touching our system across 185 centers and impacting 16 districts. So that being said, we are an early stage startup, definitely looking for growth, and very happy to be partnering with public-private partners who would be able to lead solutions into population screening within states. Our go-to-market is direct access. We are also open innovation partners to corporations, where we are able to sort of create those kind of solutions that can be absorbed by bigger corporates for execution. That being said, very happy and encouraged once again today, and thank you for all your support. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Pranay. Now the next startup, Miss Pooja Goswami from Ramja Geno Sensor.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Pooja. I would like to tell you everyone here, this most important problem is infection. And everybody take it in a very, very simple note. People do die because of infection, not sometimes because of cancer. Here, before discussing about the what we have developed, I would just like to tell you a small story. I lost my father due to infection during his chemotherapy. So we all know when patients do go for chemotherapy, their immune system go down. But such a critical issue, but still people and physicians do prescribe prophylactic antibiotics because the detection methods do take 3 to 5 days. And all those 3 to 5 days, you need a trained people team, almost 10 to 11 people is required, and you need a huge infrastructure. And still you will get results in 5 days later. And that too with the sensitivity means 27% means even there are 100 patients who have infections, they may chance of getting develop sort of deferral complications, but still you will get results of only 27 patients. So by that time in 2014, I'm a clinical scientist. I do not have any options. Left it with only the wrong results which I received when my father passed away. Since then, I'm working on a solution to fill this time gap of 5 days. I just wanted to make this time maybe five, 3 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. But luckily now we are ready with a solution. Just a small device like a tablet, and this can give you result of any infection and antimicrobial resistance in just 90 minutes. So right now, our doctor can prescribe you what kind of infections you have, what kind of antibiotics you should immediately prescribe to a patient who is actually suffering from any problem when they're in ICU, in the surgery, or in any critical care positions. This device is already been patented in India, in US, and we have completed the clinical trial at AIMS Delhi, and now we are in the regulatory. And we are also developing the AI-based algorithm for the same. And we are very much open and looking forward for further collaborations.
Congratulations, Pooja. So finally, we have the fifth startup, Satya RX Pharma Innovations Private Limited, Mr. Murthy Chawali.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for this recognition, and I'd like to briefly talk about what we do. We are an oncology drug discovery startup that is right now focused on a very specific area called DNA damage response, where we have a few programs that we have started working on over the last 3 years when we first started Satya. So the first of our programs is a first-in-class inhibitor of a protein that is expected to eventually result in efficacy in difficult to treat solid cancers. And in a remarkably short period of 3 years, we are already at a stage where we are hoping to be able to file an IND on this over the course of this year, by the end of this year. We have a few other programs within the same technology space, all targeted towards DNA damage response. And we hope to be able to build a portfolio of these programs for the global markets. In parallel, as we do this, we are also pivoting our approach to be able to generate NCEs in relatively more proven biologies that would actually be targeted at markets, including India and other emerging markets, where we believe there is a significant opportunity to come up with cost-efficient drugs using our local ecosystem, both for discovery as well as development. And this, we believe, over a period of time will help us launch into a product company, a pharmaceutical company that is completely research-oriented and research-based. And we hope to be able to work on this for the next 5 to 10 years. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and congratulations on an extremely well-organized conference. Thank you.
Congratulations, Murthy. Congratulations to all the top 5 startups, and our best wishes to all the 76 as they grow in their startup journey. May I now invite the dignitaries on the dais for the valedictory ceremony. Honorable Minister of Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana, Shri KT Ramarao. Honorable Vice Minister, Ministry of Economy and Innovation of the Republic of Lithuania, Mr. Karolis Zemaitis. The Excellency, Ms. Catherine Kivi, Estonia's Ambassador to India. Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Department, Government of Odisha, Shri Ashok Chandra Panda. Shri BP Acharyaji, Retired IS Officer. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IAS Principal Secretary to Government of Telangana Industries and Commerce Department. Mr. Satish Reddy, Chairman, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Mr. Shakti Nagapan, Director, Life Sciences and Pharma, Government of Telangana. Thank you to the dignitaries. May I now invite Honorable Vice Minister of Ministry of Economy and Innovation of the Republic of Lithuania, Mr. Karolis Zemaitis, to briefly address the audience, please.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and you know, it's been already a long day, and I know that listening at the late night in the evening, listening to group of politicians might be a little bit hard for you, so I will be trying to be as entertaining as possible, as a politician can be entertaining. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Karolis and I'm the Vice Minister of Economy and Innovation of Republic of Lithuania. We are a very small and, as you can see, young country in Northern Eastern Europe, of population of 3 million. And I had the pleasure and opportunity to enjoy this magnificent company and discussions in the conference, as well as meeting some Indian companies. And I have to tell you, I feel like at home in Telangana, because in Lithuania we have the 3 main priorities, being ICT, high-tech engineering, and life sciences. And together with His Excellency the Minister, we discussed that we have so much in common, being the drivers of innovation and working together. So for us it is important to build these bridges. We fully understand that Lithuania is a very small country, but we see a lot of potential already with the Indian companies, with Lithuanian companies developing and working together. To explain you how important life sciences in Lithuania is, Thermo Fisher Scientific, which is an American company that you might know, is the biggest corporate taxpayer in Lithuania. And actually the the corporate tax is not very high, so they don't pay much of the taxes actually. But anyway, they are a significant part of our life sciences ecosystem, as well as the startups that we have and that we are very proud of, especially in the area of gene editing, with the CRISPR technology being also created by Lithuanian professor and being known throughout the world. Right now we are happy to have already closed 3 unicorns for 3 million population, and for us, the 4th unicorn most probably will be in the healthcare. What I would like to emphasize as well, what we are extremely proud of, is that 60% of our researchers are female, meaning that we are taking care of the inclusion and diversity of our scientific ecosystem. You have 15,000 life sciences scientists in Lithuania for 3 million people. That's a relatively high number, waiting for you to cooperate together. So, as a representative of Lithuanian government, I'm sure that we can create that bridge. and we can work together to cooperate, and we are ready. We have the embassy here, we have our people all around India ready to work with you. And you know, Lithuania can be a gateway to Indian companies, India can be a gateway to Lithuanian companies. And as we also like to say in Lithuania, seeing is believing. And I believe in Telangana's ambition, I believe in Telangana's and Hyderabad's innovation and determination to grow. And that's why I would like to invite you in September to come to Lithuania to Life Science Baltics, LSB. This is the largest life sciences conference in the region, in our European region, to see and believe in Lithuania's potential as well. Thank you very much for magnificent hospitality. It's been an honor to be here, to represent Lithuania, and also to enjoy the ambition of Hyderabad. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now invite the Excellency Ms. Catherine Kiwi, Estonia's Ambassador to India, to briefly address the audience.
Mr. Minister, Kiti Ramarao, Excellencies, I see my Lithuanian colleague here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my third visit to Hyderabad, and I'm really happy to be back to the pharma capital of the world, not just India. I'm also privileged to have this time a delegation with me of Estonian pharma and biotech companies, because pharma and biotech, this is one of the most vibrant sector in Estonian innovation. And as of innovation, innovation without investments into infrastructure, without scaling up, without digitalization is not so successful. But fortunately, my country is well known as a European, if not world capital of digitalization, e-governance, cybersecurity. So if we put together our skills and your scale and knowledge, we could do, I'm sure, very wonderful things. I would truly invite you to come to Estonia and learn also one of our unique centers. It's namely the Genomics Bank, which has been created already in 2001. And until now, we have been able to collect about 20% of Estonian adults' population DNA. And this information serves as very valuable data for development of both domestic and international biological and medical science. This genomics park is, of course, I mean, the research is voluntary, not that we collect it from all Estonians, but it is very valuable database for to research non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, and also the interaction or what role what interlinkage between the genes and environment and common diseases. We have lots of Estonian unicorns and startups around our universities working as cluster. As of startup and unicorns, my country is #1 in Europe, and we have also a startup festival called Latitude 59, but also a very specific biotech startup festival as well. So I would like to really encourage you to come, and we could together investigate very valuable avenues for collaboration, and I would end up here because I know you are tired of the conference already, but I would really commend the leadership of Kiti Ramarao together with Jayesh Ranjan. This is wonderful what you have been doing here. I have been here in India since 4 years already, and I really trust what you are doing. And I will say you my final secret: I have eyes made in Hyderabad, because I trust you and your science so much that I got like new eyes in Maxi Vision Hospital from Dr. Kiti Kasu Prasad Reddy. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. It has been a pleasure to be here together with my companies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now invite Sri Ashok Chandra Panda, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology Department, Government of Odisha, to briefly address the audience.
Good evening. I welcome all the delegates to this edition of BioAsia 2023. With me on dais, Honorable Minister Sri KT Ramarao of Telangana Government and Mr. Karolis Žemaitis, Vice Minister, Minister of Economy and Innovation in the Republic of Lithuania, and Mrs. Catherine KV, Lithuanian Ambassador to India, and Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IS Principal Secretary to Government of Telangana, and Dr. Reddy's family, and Mr. Dr. Sanjay Saxena, and other dignitaries and dais, members of press, and esteemed dignitaries of the dais. At the outset, I am honored to get an opportunity to visit this very place and meet many luminaries, those are working in the biotech sector, and particularly I am happy and express candidly that I have come across a person like KT Ramarao, who is full of ideas, potentials, and very friendly, and speaks, I think each sentence of him displays the innovations and also talks of potentials and also talks of benefit to the common man, whether in his state or any state in India. I am really moved by his personality and his thoughts. As all of us know that Odisha, the another state in Indian Union, has a rich, glorious past and a vibrant present and a promising future under the dynamic leadership of veteran Chief Minister Sri Naveen Patnaik. From 2000 till date, he has left no stone unturned to ensure the benefits reaches the last man on the row, last man on the queue, and the benefits reach every nook and corner of the state. Only yesterday his finance minister presented 2,20,000 crore budget in the state assembly, which was only 20,000 crore in 2000 when he took over the charge as chief minister. I need not go into details, but as all of us know that my state is the heartland of India's mineral deposits and natural bioresources and ranks 9th in terms of land area and 11th in terms of population in the country. Keeping in mind the importance of this biotechnology sector, Government of Odisha in its IPR 2022 has identified biotechnology as a third sector. All eligible biotechnology ventures will be given adequate government hand holding with support offered by various policies, ranging from biotechnology policy to startup policy, to set up enterprises and grow with industry, academia, linkage, collaborative environment, world-class industrial facilities, network of angel and venture capitalist funds, and government support, this sector is poised to grow. The growing ecosystem for startups in the existing bio-incubators, KIT, TBI, DBTILS, bio-incubator, and others has already been marching in the equal space as elsewhere in the country. Simultaneously, the state is inviting bio-entrepreneurs, investors, and industries to invest in Odisha. An innovative bio-business model for Odisha shall be built by integrating biotech R&D, bio-entrepreneurship, and bio-industry for bioeconomy development together. With government support under Biotechnology Policy 2018 and IPR 2015, Bharat Biotech, through its anchor tenant MS Sapigen Biologics Private Limited, has invested more than 500 crores for manufacturing various vaccines in Odisha Biotech Park at Annarua near the state capital. They have also committed to invest another 700 crores for expanding its scope. During the MIO Make in Odisha conclave, which was held recently last year in 2022, Science and Technology Department signed MOU with Association of Biotechnology-led enterprise ABLE to bring biotech industries to Odisha to mentor and nurture biotech startups, bring international knowledge groups to Odisha for investment purpose, and to prepare a conducive biotech policy for Odisha. An international body, global network of entrepreneurs and professionals for Odisha, has signed MOU to facilitate global Odisha entrepreneurial exchanges to provide a platform for bio-entrepreneurship development in Odisha with global outreach, identify and submit a mix of 10 potential contacts, mentors, entrepreneurs, investors, networkers, entrepreneurial professionals, corporate ventures, PCs, angels, every year from across the globe, those who have commitment and desire to help bio startup in Odisha. Hugh Well Life Sciences has committed to invest 50 crores in the Make in Odisha conclave, which was held last year. Similarly, Crop Genie has proposed to invest 500 crores. In total, rupees 1250 crores investment has come during Make in Odisha in conclave 2022 in biotechnology sector in Odisha. The investment will generate direct and indirect employment opportunity more than 10,000 people. So, at the end, before I conclude, I must say, the Odisha, the land of Lord Jagannath, has always had a maritime, glorious maritime past, and not only that, our people went to South Asia and Southeast Asia, flourished in maritime trade. And today, with Honorable Chief Minister, we are promising a lot for not only for our people, we are indirectly also contributing to the national economy as well as benefit to our people. And definitely I welcome all of you, those in this sector, to come to Odisha and take opportunity and the facilities, and we are ready to help you and serve you and will be a good partner. Thanking you, Bande Utkal Janani. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now invite the Honorable Minister for Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana, Shri KT Rama Rao, to briefly address the audience, please.
Good evening. Thank you to all the participants who have participated over the last couple of days. Firstly, I welcome the Honorable Minister from Lithuania, a very young man, Karolis, only 29 years old. Can you believe it? Karolis, I must tell you, you spoke really, really well. And I loved the way you talked about how the ecosystem here and back in Lithuania actually can complement each other. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'm sure lots of very exciting opportunities for those entrepreneurs who are looking to use Lithuania as a gateway into Northern Europe and Europe at large, mainland Europe at large. Thank you to Honorable Minister Satish Pandaji. Thank you, sir, for coming back to BioAsia. Really appreciate you taking the time, and thank you for presenting the opportunities that are available for all the entrepreneurs in the state of Odisha. Thank you also to Catherine Kivi, the Ambassador of Estonia. Catherine, it's always a delight to have you back in our city. And like I told you last time, I have a special tie and special memory of Estonia, which I can't, of course, mention on the mic here. We'll of course, talk about it later. Thank you very much, Catherine, for coming back. BP Acharya ji, in fact, he sent me pictures yesterday of, I think, the first BioAsia back in the day, 20 years ago. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for everything that you have done for the state, for everything that you have done for this sector. Jayesh Ranjan, my Principal Secretary, and of course our own Life Sciences Advisory Council Chairman and the Chairman of Dr. Reddy Labs, Sri Satish Reddy, thank you very much. And the man who made all of this happen, and to his team, Shakti Nagappan, thank you, our Director Life Sciences. I must thank him. I think he deserves a big round of applause, guys. He and his entire team, Paridhi and the entire team that works with Shakti, they deserve a huge round of applause. This year's BioAsia, as you all know, is the 20th edition of this event. It's a marquee event. It's one of the largest events for life sciences in Asia and in India for sure. This year, in fact, has been the biggest attendance in terms of the impact it has created. More than 2,015 delegates have attended. More than 175 plus exhibitors and startups have participated in the trade show. And you've just heard some from 5 finalists, who are the startups who have come in. I'm delighted that they are looking at more and more innovation. I'm very excited. I was very excited to listen into some of them. More than 50 countries represented over the last 2 days. More than 2,000 plus B2B meetings. And like I said, this is the biggest BioAsia in terms of numbers in the history of this event. My compliments to the entire team who has done really well. But what I'm excited about is the road ahead. Because if you think about all the deliberations, if you reflect on all the conversations that have happened, I'm truly excited about the possibilities on how technology can act as a force multiplier to help the life sciences industry innovate and help the life sciences industry scale in terms of its ambition. And how the resources that we have, the most precious resource that we have at our disposal, the human capital, the young India, can truly come, to the party and start working on world-class products and start working on world-class innovations. And thirdly, and most importantly, I'm also excited about the opportunity that India presents for the rest of the world. In terms of scale, I think in terms of manufacturing, medical devices, in terms of manufacturing pharmaceuticals, in terms of manufacturing all kinds of life sciences products, there is no better location than in India. And among Indian states, I think there is anybody who can truly match up to the kind of abilities that Telangana, in fact, possesses. As I mentioned yesterday, the ecosystem currently in Telangana is at about $80 billion. But we are hopeful and we are very ambitious. We have set a very ambitious and an audacious agenda for ourselves. And we have received great response. We would love to see this triple in size from $80 billion today to $250 billion by 2030. Now that is an ambitious agenda that will help not only the state of Telangana, but the entire life sciences industry in India. So I look forward to having more meaningful conversations. I look forward to having more meaningful collaborations, most importantly, because the theme of BioAsia this year was advancing for one humanity. That can only happen by a multilateral collaborative approach, engaging all forms of stakeholders, cutting across geographical boundaries, cutting across regional, religious, social boundaries, reaching and including everybody. I'm a firm believer in the 3I mantra: innovation, infrastructure, and inclusive growth. These three I's together can make the 4th I, India, a truly powerhouse of a talent and first world country in times to come. So all the very best. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for your continued patronage and leadership. Before we felicitate the top 5 startups, we would like to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to our jury members who did multiple rounds of the 76 startups in the past 2 days. Mr. Ajit Rangnikar from Rich, Dr. Chinna Babu Sunkavali from Grace Cancer Foundation, Dr. Ambu Chaturvedi from IKP Knowledge Park, Dr. Tejo Pratap Oleti from Fernandez Hospital, Dr. Ramesh Bhairappaneni from India Partners, Dr. Makaran Javatekar, former Director Pfizer, Mr. Rajesh Dudu from Tech Mahindra, Dr. Sanjay Saxena from BIRAC, Professor Ramesh Loganathan from IIIT Hyderabad, Professor Renu John from IIT Hyderabad, Dr. Ramji Palela from CCMB, and Dr. Suresh Babu Munuswamy from IIPH. Thank you to the jury members. I now invite the dignitaries on the dais to please felicitate the top 5 startups. We are very thankful to Tech Mahindra, our startup state sponsor. I invite Mr. Rajesh Dudu, Senior Vice President, Global Head Blockchain and Metaverse from Tech Mahindra on the stage. I also thank BIRAC, Department of Biotechnology, for awarding 50,000 cash prize to each startup. I invite Dr. Sanjay Saxena, General Manager and Head Investment from BIRAC on the stage. We also thank Amazon Web Services for $22,000 worth of AWS credits to each top startup. I now invite our startups on the stage. Exobot Dynamics, Mr. Munish Kumar, Lambdagen Therapeutics, Mr. Pravesh Gupta, Pratibha HealthCon, Mr. Pranay Garg, Ramja Genosensor, Ms. Pooja Goswami, and Satya RX Pharma Innovations, Mr. Murthy Chawali. Please join me in congratulating the startups. A big round of applause for all. Yes, we should have a big round of applause. Congratulations to the startups. We are now closing the BioAsia edition. We will see you tomorrow for the exhibition from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. But before we close, I invite the crew and the team and the colleagues of BioAsia to please come on stage.
but it's on. Good afternoon, everyone. Post-lunch session, let's begin with the content planning and monetization strategy for the broadcast and OTT platform. And to chair this session, I have with me Shri Mayank Kumar Agarwal, Director General, Doordarshan. Shri Mayank Kumar Agarwal is a senior officer of an Indian Information Service 1988 batch. He is concurrently holding positions of both Director General, Doordarshan and DD News. He has a long experience of working in various ministries and departments of Government of India and media units of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, including All India Radio, in Institute of Mass Communication, Press Information Bureau, NACO, and UPSC. Over the years, he has specialized in government communication. He has widely traveled and participated in several national and international conferences. He has been a part of the Prime Minister's media delegation in the past to USA, Russia, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, and Maldives. He has been widely appreciated for his work on the prestigious Red Ribbon Express project in 2007 and 9 for spreading awareness about HIV and AIDS in the country. While in NACO, he has closely worked with UNICEF on the production of television serial Kyunki Jeena Isi Ka Naam Hai. In addition, he remained associated with several news documentaries and short films. He has participated and made presentation International AIDS Conference at Toronto, Mexico City, Vienna, and International Conference on AIDS in Asia and Pacific Bali. He has also headed NACO UNDP project. Presently, he is engaged in revamping of DD channels, including the relaunch of DD India as a new international English news channel. May I have Mr. Mayank Agarwal on the stage to chair the session? I would also like to invite Ms. Natasha Narad, CEO Rene Media Group, as a speaker. Shri K. Prasanna, founder Fan Code. Shri Vibhu Agarwal, founder and CEO Ulu and Atrangi TV. Shri Vishnu Sharan, founder and CEO FEKC. Over to you, sir.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really extremely happy to be among you people, the experts from the broadcast industry, both from a lot of people from technology side and many from content side also. So, this session will be more focusing on the content aspects, and both are equally important for broadcast industry, because what is said that the content is the king, but content we have to take through technology to the people. Nowadays, the production houses, they are facing various challenges due to diversification of platforms. Earlier, it used to be at one point of time only radio, then came television. So it looked like TV has totally overshadowed all radio, but radio re-emerged, all you know. And then YouTube, OTT. So different platforms require to the taste of the people. So this is something very important, because content, it is money intensive. There's a lot of investment. So before it comes to the people, it has to go to different stages. It has to be pre-tested. It has to be, there has to be done surveys that what type of content people want. And now with this virtual world, I would say the new technologies which are emerging in animation, visual effects, new graphics technologies, So the technology is so interwoven with the production, and so far as the monetization is concerned, so I have experts here, they will talk about, so if the money is not there, how to produce it. So that is also very, very important part for any creative work. So ultimately it should lead that what we are investing, it should, there should be return also. You have to pay salaries, people have to survive on that. So I have experts here. Before I invite the first expert, I will just, because it's, I will a little bit talk about Doordarshan. Recently, Doordarshan, we are trying to revamp content on Doordarshan also. We launched Swaraj serial, which is simultaneously being telecast in 10 languages across the network. This is focusing on heroes of freedom struggle. We are going in a big way to revamp the Doordarshan DD National, particularly from mid of April, and a number of serials and programs are expected. And when we talk about Doordarshan, and I would say that any other channel also, so it is not only this content, it should be content with responsibility. That is also very important. So we are going to start with Natasha. $25 is a very good number, no? 25, 50, 75, so it's a silver jubilee, yeah? Natasha. This has given her a comprehensive understanding of the communication process. Management and Analytics company, which was established in 2014. She has done her graduation from St. Xavier's, Mumbai, and post-graduation from MICA, Ahmedabad. Welcome, Natasha, and now it is over to you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It's a privilege being here and talking to you about this topic today. As I was making this presentation, I realized there's so much more that we can do here, because there's so many learnings we can take from other organizations, from other cases abroad. And I've tried to put together a few, instances, situations that we come across every time in OTT and in television, and how we can work on them. So let's start with a small quiz. Just to understand content, since Sir spoke so much about that, which was the highest? Big Boss, Ashram, yes. So, here you go. So, it was a revelation to me as well. Katputli was the highest movie on OTT.
It is not just media data anymore, but it is now linked to an ROI format in a very big way. The third one is so it is no longer, just about I have subscribed to a channel or an OTT platform across 1 year, 5 year, even a month. Now I can just do it for one transaction, for one match, or for one movie. And I can then pay per use. And what happens therefore is that reach. But then if you see phones, mobile phone users are also very close to the TV reach. And that is where the challenge starts, because everybody has a phone. Everybody wants to see their content on their phones, personalize it a lot. And TV therefore then becomes more of a family viewing. It becomes more of, where you are sitting in single TV homes where, there is content which everybody is watching. Therefore, content differs, the kind of content you have in both places. Social media. In OTT, the challenge for monetization is very, very important. Pay TV households and the subscription households are more or less in the same bracket again, and DTH households includes the DD free dish. That has also been a game changer last year on how to attract more households. Connected TV is also another big phenomenon that is going to emerge now with OTT and linear TV combinations. Challenges. Reach is now at 30% of total India population. Metros have already saturated with are going to go forward, because regional languages, even on linear television, the content is close to 60%. And everybody is investing more on those now. Other differentiating content is clearly sports. We were looking at how OTT platforms have picked up a lot of sports titles. Jio took up FIFA. FIFA has done extremely well for Jio. At the same time, Amazon Prime got into cricket subscriptions as well. And now with Jio picking up IPL, again, there is going to be a lot of traction on that. There are new genres and plots, and there are a lot of prominent stars and talent. So all the famous stars are, all Bollywood is getting into OTT, all of the regional stars are getting into OTT as well. And this is where the differentiation is happening, because there is edgy content, there is content that, a person can also personalize to a great extent, yeah? So let's see what is in favor of OTT. Mobile data prices, so everybody who has a phone has data and can watch it, and 5G further will accelerate it, yeah? So OTT, 85% of all OTT watched is free, and the time consumed has increased close to 1 hour, and per day is a lot if you see the actual consumption, therefore, that comes up towards the end. Compare it to TV. TV also has seen an increase in households, and this has been led by DD Free Dish. The pay TV household base overall has declined because of OTT, and therefore the ARPU has declined. But TV has also seen an increase in the time spent. So it is not just OTT, but we've seen average time spent go up in TV as well, along with ad volume growth going up by 10%. Both of them are focusing on exactly the same content, which is sports and regional. They take up most of the budgets. And TV is also going to grow at 8%. So somewhere now, the result that comes out is that both of them will coexist. TV is so mammoth, it is so important, and it is such a big national carrier that this will continue to be there. Its strength is continuing to be there. But how do we leverage that strength? How do we monetize is where the issue is, right? Will sports therefore do it? The sports benefit for OTT, if you look at IPL, IPL is the biggest today, right, in terms of the overall television performance. So IPL has seen a 13% decline in the overall viewership, and OTT has seen a 23% gain. So somewhere this has also happened in terms of the revenues. So if you see the overall revenue, sports on OTT has a 22% CAGR compared to sports on TV, which is a 7% CAGR. Disney Hotstar lost out to Viacom for IPL, and along with that, it's expected that it will lose about 30 to 40% of its viewer base, just with one property. Yeah? And IPL will be free to watch on Jio Cinema. So suddenly Jio Cinema, which has already got the reach of 420 million of Jio, will target a much, much higher user base and the kind of ad revenues for about 4,000 crores. Linear TV and DTH households stand to lose with this, right? Monetization options being explored by OTT, SVOD, AVOD, TVOD, we've all heard of these. SVOD is now taking over. There's pay-per-view, there's premium advertising, syndication. They are exploring and experimenting with a lot of different monetization strategies. And therefore, they also have to increase the 31%, which is currently there for OTT users, the paid users, to a more sizably healthy number. Now, given this, given the challenges that are there for TV, given that TV stands to lose with the kind of transformation that is happening across, what do we do with the numbers that we have? Let's do a reality check. OTT, no ad breaks, binge watch, edgy content, personalization. It is all the points that we mentioned earlier. What are the main ones to look out for? While OTT is a binge watch, TV is family viewing. 90% or slightly more than that of households are single TV households where the family sits together and watches TV. We still have that across our households. Can that be a point that we focus on? Can the content that we work on be relevant for that kind of a family audience? It is affordable. It has no internet required. Yeah? So what should TV do? TV is still ahead in revenues and content. Now, if you see the revenues, OTT by 2026 will be about 21,000 crores versus TV will be about 43,500 crores. So TV is still there. It is huge, like I said. The content TV produces is 1 lakh hours of content versus OTT, which is 2,500 hours of content. We have that kind of content library today. But are we doing enough with that content library? That is our biggest strength. How do we leverage that? Therefore, 3 things that we focus on: the viewer, the content, and the monetization. And all of it is possible, as Sir said, with technology. Technology will link all these things together. It will enable us to focus on them and bring out the strengths in each of them. The first one being the viewer. Can we segment the viewer properly? The senior citizen by age group, by geography, by their behavioral patterns, what is that they're watching today? Yeah, how can we engage them more? How can we create a new viewer base? So the new viewer base, yeah, regional is yet to develop. It's only about 65 to 67% of rural India, so we can go there. And segmentation also works over there, but the role of AI tools will be to understand the viewer, to understand the demographics, and to have flexible and reactive measures. Now, if we put up a series on air, do we have the mechanism to keep monitoring how it is doing, whether it is going to be off air or on air, depending on the performance, and take quick measures rather than wait for the series to play out and then use the slot for something else? Yeah. Similarly, in content, can we have inclusive and relevant content? Can we have new formats? Like I spoke about the short formats, the snackable content. Can we do that? Can I, as a user, find content? First of all, if I want to see a series, how easy it is for me to find it, and content that cannot be found cannot be seen. So the biggest challenge there is to have content discoverability across screens. So I don't have to see on my TV alone, but can I watch the same TV content elsewhere and probably pay for it, and therefore monetize that? There could also be recommendations. I can also have recommendations saying that, this content is really nice. And, like we keep getting recommendations on OTT engines. We can have some things like those as well. So what does AI do there? AI, first of all, we can automate workflows. Once you know what the viewers want, on the basis of that, you can create your own recommendation engines and then keep targeting the users or the viewers who will have the potential to watch that product. And multi-screen presence, like I said, is important because you may not, get the user only to watch on television. Monetization and new avenues for that, where we go beyond conventional advertising. So today, conventional advertising is, spot buys, we have sponsorships, we have syndicated partnerships. But can we have some new revenue streams? Like, can we have hybrid models? Can we have programmatic advertising? We've heard a lot about programmatic advertising on digital. Can we look at a way to replicate that on television? Can we have content linked with payment? Where, like on OTT, if you want to subscribe something, there's a QR code, you connect over there, and you pay, and you watch the show. Can we do something like that on television? All that needs a lot of AI. It needs a lot of tools to get that. But then that is also where the future is. Yeah? And for that, you would again need to understand the quality, audience, cost, and the revenue. So the revenue that you make through that, you have to see whether it's worth the entire exercise that you do. And the customer platform that you would see. And this will also give you the content ROI. Now, if I have a new serial, can I make snackable formats of that and put it on another medium and link it to payment? So I can do these, exercises with every show, with every content piece that I have, and see how that works for me. And I can put these small payment patterns along with that. First give some trials, then make it a freemium package. So for viewers, what can we do as broadcasters? First, hybrid, like I spoke about, subscription combined with smart advertising. We have smaller ad breaks for premium models. So as a subscriber, I can be a premium subscriber for a channel. I can see fewer ads, but I am giving money otherwise in terms of the subscription content. I can have banner ads. I don't have to see spot buys like what news channels are doing. Programmatic advertising is another thing that can be done, where there will be automated ads, so you won't have a fixed ad break. You can have flexible ad breaks depending on the profile of your viewers. So if you have segmented viewers, you can target them with ads that will best match their profile. So that way you have different ad serving platforms or modules depending on the kind of profile of users that you have. And with this, what happens is that the information you get when the user watches or clicks on it is very, very relevant. It's useful. You can actually make an entire database from that. And this is important for also giving this data back to clients on how their ad has performed, on whether one program did well or the second, or program B did better. And this works for branding as well, if you have branding within the shows. Now for advertisers, again, this was interesting because I've been a media buyer all my life, right? So we've a classic case that used to come to us, where clients used to say that, I have a launch only in Punjab. मुझे सिर्फ पंजाब के लिए ही पैसा खर्चना है, but I don't want the national coverage. Why should I pay for spillovers, right? So can there be a way by which we can segment and, actually create these kind of profiles and make modular pricing, pay for what you want, and somewhere there, everything becomes more cost effective. Use your audiences to work for you and make that your strength. That also gives you flexibility in the packages that you offer, right? And then other creative and spot viewership can be worked on the same way. So this is our chance for change. This is something that going forward can be utilized. And any questions that you would have on this, I'd be happy to answer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I had a question. Myself, Arjun Vibhute from Mumbai. Here with the right exactly. What is your source for measuring the DTH homes or DTH households? It is including 5 other operators or only for the free DTH?
No, this is industry estimates. This is including all the operators.
But what is your source in industry?
So the source, like I said, is industry estimates, which I have got in my research on the net.
Okay, only from the net only?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay.
Yes.
My brief question is, hello? Yeah.
Yes.
My brief question is on the snackable content.
Yes.
Do you think that the content producers need to focus on creating the snackable content altogether separately from the standard content, or the otherwise case is the binge watching content? We have seen that in the binge watching content, the contents are basically linked together. Yes. Maybe half an hour programs, they are being given as 2-hour programs or 3-hour programs, 6 episodes or 4 episodes, and then they become content for the binge watching.
Yes.
So in similar fashion, can the regular program be broken up in the pieces to make them snackable content, or the snackable content would require altogether a different concept to produce them?
Okay, see, stackable content, it would have a different strategy altogether for it, because binge watching, you're expecting a lot more retention from the consumer to sit and watch till the entire episode or till the entire series is over. Snackable is more on the go, it's quick, it's entertainment, you just want to watch it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds and move on. So the strategy behind both will be very different, and yet both will coexist. While driving, I have 2 minutes of time, I just want to see one quick Insta shots. That would be very different from if I want to sit and watch a whole season. Because content with, with the kind of smartphone penetration that we have, every kind of content is being watched on all screens. So I don't see screens being a hindrance there. But yes, on-the-go content is would be more on mobile screens, of course. Yes.
So we can surmise that probably these would be 2 different streams of content. Snackable content and the binge plus the regular.
Yes, they would be 2 different streams, because your objective from these 2 streams would be very different. One would be to attract more users, one would be to retain the user that you already have. So one would be more trials, one would be to engage the viewer. So the objective is very different.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? Because we have limited time, and
yes.
So thanks,
okay.
Natasha.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Give a big hand to her, and just to tell a few important points is that OTT is growing at the faster pace, but TV is also growing. So it is not so that the TV industry is going out, it's the viewers' preferences, and very good you came out with some solutions in terms of AI tools for monetization, audience segmentation, content discoverability. So, so we go to our next expert. I would say next expert batsman, because he will be talking about sports. a lot of cricket. So Prasanna Krishnan is the co-founder of FanCode. Founded in March 2019, FanCode is a premier sports streaming platform committed to giving fans a highly personalized experience across different sports and international and domestic competitions. FanCode has over 50 million users and is a part of Dream Sports, India's leading sports technology company, with brands such as Dream 11, FanCode, Dream Capital, Dream Set Go, Dream Pay, so a lot of dreams. So prior to this, Prasanna spent over 5 years as the EVP and business head for the sports channel clusters at Sony Pictures Network, and he was also the chief operating officer of Neo Sports. So welcome Mr. K. Prasanna, and please, this is yours.
Thanks. Good afternoon. As I was just approaching this, I was actually thanks for the invitation, sir, because it helped me actually reflect on how this industry has evolved on a usual basis. We all get caught up in our day-to-day so much that we don't really think back and reflect about how much things have changed and where all the opportunities keep arising. And so it was actually refreshing to sit and make this presentation, because I was trying to study the trends that have happened in the sports industry over the last 10-15 years and see how much things have changed and where all the opportunities have actually turned up. So just a quick recap on some of the trends which all of you have seen over the last decade, and something which may be interesting to just look at again. One of the biggest trends in the last decade has been actually the growth of the culture of sports in this country, both in terms of viewing and in terms of participation. International quality sports events, if you recall, in the pre-IPL days, we used to have 10, 15, 20 India cricket matches which used to be held in proper stadiums and people could go. In the last few years, with all the leagues and everything that's come in now, there are nearly 500 plus matches, events every year in different stadiums across small, medium, large towns across the country. And the fans are actually able to connect personally by going to venues and seeing their heroes in action. The sports channel's growth story. From around 6 to 8 standard definition channels back in 2008 when I was there, when I first came into this industry, it's now nearly over 30 plus channels across the various leading broadcasters, including regional languages, etc. Sports which used to be primarily a single language English coverage has now gone extensively into personalization, into multiple languages. And of course, the rise of digital on-demand viewing, and I would call it the second television phenomena, because the way I view digital is that in our country, TV is not going anywhere. Digital has actually become the second screen for most people, the personalized viewing. The Western countries and all, we have always talked about the multiple television households, second television households, etc. In India, actually, there are homes that can afford multiple televisions. They choose not to do so because the television is a family viewing experience. The mobile phone or the OTT platforms are actually taken over the space of the personal viewing experience. And that's one of the reasons I believe why, while the digital boom has happened in the last decade, it's actually not cannibalized television at all. It's coexisted. It's provided an alternate medium. So what's some of the things that you notice with this trends that has been happening? The competition for tier 1 events has become extremely fierce, as you have all seen with the India cricket rights, the IPL rights costs, etc. But what is also happening is, as a result, a disproportionate share of investments is happening towards a very limited supply of super premium tier 1 events. The variety of sports coverage in this country actually has shrunk in the last decade. The marquee events are being covered in greater depth, in multiple languages. You see a 6-language, 8-language coverage across broadcast. And at the same time, the investments and the space available for niche content has actually gone down. And this is an important trend. Television has actually gone more and more mainstream, more and more towards catering to the largest mass market. Digital has been able to coexist partly because it is able to create and cater to those niche audiences. The challenges of monetization of the non-marquee events of course persist. Sports advertising continues to be impact driven and not as a frequency driving model. Subscription market for non-marquee events is still to evolve. So yes, we are still at the cusp of a transition phase where the marquee events monetization on broadcast or digital has evolved beautifully, but the wider opportunities that exist in the market, the business models are still being found for those. The regional language sports coverage is a trend all of us have seen become big in the last decade. But interestingly, if you have noticed, while regional language sports channels have emerged in a big way, there is very little regional sports coverage actually. It's primarily been the same marquee tier 1 super premium events that are being offered in more and more language options. We don't necessarily see local events getting covered just because there are regional language options on broadcast. That's one area where I see a possibility for models to coexist and digital to emerge. The power and potential of digital, in my view, is still to be fully unlocked. Digital platforms, if you see, have mostly been an extension of TV broadcast. Differentiation of coverage in digital is still limited because it's primarily the same feed which is going on to digital platforms. There have been some attempts at customization, but it's not as extensive as it could be. Product innovation is actually essential for growth, and Natasha mentioned a lot of those things, AI opportunities, segmentation, etc. And that, I believe, is going to be key for the future. So the net impact, the way I see this, the sports market, is that despite all the boom we have seen in the broadcast side, the number of channels that have come in, the emergence of the OTT platforms, etc., one observation we have is that the Indian sports fan still can't watch all the sports events that he wants. He gets more and more access to the primary tier 1 events, the IPLs, India cricket, etc. But if today, for instance, you are let's say a fan of Bengal football or the northeastern football events or domestic hockey events or state level cricket events, the fan is still underserviced. And that's one area where we at FanCode saw a significant opportunity, and that's where we have been entering this market and trying to plug the gap. And just to give you an interesting perspective on this, it may come as a, we all get we all see the number of sports events that are there, and we know that there are multiple sports channels. And yet, one startling statistic we found that if we just take the professional sports in the world, all the leading football, hockey, cricket events, etc., etc., and I'm talking about only the professional levels, the tier 1 of different sports. Even today, less than 10%, probably around only 5 to 6% of it is actually available to Indian sports fans easily. That is the only extent of content that the current broadcast and OTT platforms are able to cater to. And that's one area where we see a very, very significant opportunity for growth. So that we believe, this is a problem that's worth solving. And that's why we've been focusing on expanding sports coverage in India. We've been going more extensively into the tier 2, tier 3 towns. We've been going into the state leagues, the domestic league events, etc. We're using the power of digital to address accessibility. The domestic, regional, women's events, district level cricket events, etc. If you see, there is localized interest. It may not be of interest across the country for everybody, but the power of digital allows you to unlock this. It allows you to target because you know exactly user preferences. You get data, first-hand data. When you put out an event, is anybody watching? Who are these people who are interested in that? You can study affinity groups, and that's one big differentiator we see that the market will be capitalizing on in the coming years. We've also seen that national and state level events in football, kabaddi, hockey, etc. have significant traction. Kabaddi in particular, and that's one event we have been recently associating with, which is called the Yuva Kabaddi events, and they have been doing very well because we see that the user connect is there. Monetization is a different problem, but first stage is finding what does the user want and what is he willing to consume for. And our observation has been that once the user sees value in what he is watching, and if he is liking it, over a period of time monetization follows. They agree to pay because they see value in what they are receiving as a service. Similarly, football, we have experimented with Goa and Kerala for Premier League football events, and we've seen localized interest in those markets. Hockey, we are just tied up with the Hockey India Federation for showing the national men's and women's events, and again we are seeing some initial interest coming in this. And similarly in other premium events in niche sports. So essentially where I'm going with this is digital. I see the opportunity for digital in coexisting with broadcast, because broadcast is mass media. It is one which caters to the lowest common denominator across the whole country. Regional sports channels, of course, is a different opportunity, but even they will have limitations of concurrency. They will also have to cater to the largest target group in a respective market. The reason why digital can continue to grow and thrive and the two platforms don't necessarily cannibalize each other is because digital allows you to go into those niche interests and create a combined market which on a sum of parts works better. Thank you.
So, any questions, please? Yes. We can take 2 questions.
Thank you, Chairman. I am H. Kumar from CST on Science Technology Promotion from Rajasthan. My point is, first is observation. He gave a very good right on the sport access in India. But question is, the economy is dependent on the SME sector and agricultural domain. So many industries are there, so many agricultural technologies are, so many science technologies are there. Kisan channel is provided by the Doordarshan. But question is, information at grassroots level and information at district level. So question is, I was in Lucknow on the, how they display the UP Global Investment Summit, exposing how expansion is doing in such a way. So the investors are coming very big way in UP. So my point is, question is that why not a Doordarshan or a radio broadcasting, make a district level broadcasting, collaboration, science, technology, to make the district abilities, district productivity, innovation, conservation and productive in the technology front as a district domain, as a district and economy.
So the question is to me, not to, or to him.
They mentioned the sport. Sport is another part of the same line, on the same line. You actually. What is your views?
First your views.
Again, my expertise is in the area of sports, and that's why I was more focused around that. And that's why I actually mentioned the opportunity around district, regional, national level sports coverage, because the sector that I'm focused on is that. And I agree with you, I mean, there would definitely be opportunities in every sector accordingly. I'm not an expert in the other sectors, but while I see an opportunity in, I mean, to take your question further, I see an opportunity in covering district level sports, because that's a business that I am in. And so to that extent, yes, going micro in this country is definitely an opportunity.
Thank you very much. We have to go more regional and local, and Doordarshan and All India Radio, they have local presence. Another question?
Can I talk? Here, one term he used very good. Value as a service, and second term, economy as a service. But here I find many important events like sports are available on OTT platform, but not available on Doordarshan platform. It is unfortunate on the part of the Doordarshan that why the things are available on OTT and not available on Doordarshan. People are deprived at a large scale, and value is ignored. Economy is prevailing.
Yes. Let me answer. If you go through his presentation, very good presentation, Mr. Prasanna. So he said that out of about 200,000 professional games, only 5% are accessible, and digital media has to play a very big role in this. Everything cannot be brought on television, but for the viewers, that now increasingly digital platform that is being used, and that is going to play a very big role in future. So we thank you, Mr. Prasanna, and we go to the next speaker because we have very little time, and let us give a big hand to him. Our next speaker is Mr. Vishnu Sharma from Efficacy Worldwide Private Limited. I invite him now. He has long experience which include managing large AORs and P&L responsibilities in various agency networks like Havas Media, Group M, IPG, Medicine and Publicis. He had couple of stints at the publishing industry also, and he has worked as national brand head at Living Media and head of business analytics at HT Media Group. Let us welcome him on dais.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for the invite and the kind introduction. We've seen a lot of numbers, interesting data which came across, and what I need to talk about today on content planning and monetization strategy for broadcast and OTT. So, at the outset, these are two different sciences: content planning and monetization strategies. At some point in time in the past, when we all started our careers, it used to be very linear correlation. Going back to the Raidurgam days, wherein half an hour slot being sold to a private producer, he would sell the free commercial time, and with the money he generates, he would create some content. And because we were all bereaved of any entertainment with a single screen, single channel, we would all lap up what was shown to us, and it was a happy situation. The situation has gone completely 360 now, wherein content acquisition has become a cost and monetization comes later. The latest example of IPL and Jio is a glaring point in view that the cost Jio paid to buy the digital rights was much higher than the last cost what Hotstar paid. And then they had to reinvent the wheel of going free to all the platforms, all the telecom players, increasing the base, and actually trying to beat the numbers which the television would have, and also betting on the costs. So when it comes to such challenging situations of content acquisition, content planning becomes paramount to ensure that monetization is possible or not. And that is where the whole scenario of OTT and broadcasters being viewed separately should be completely shunned as a thought. There is no TV or OTT per se. It is a multi-screen environment. And that is how any content can be monetized. So there is an app I saw across which one, they are having a Dekh Bhai Dekh kind of content from the old years. When we were in the first COVID, Doordarshan showed Ramayana and Mahabharata, and we all lapped it up. So it is about planning the content along with the target audience mindset. That leads to monetization. We have seen all very big budget movies getting flopped at the box office and some very low budget movies making a lot of money. So understanding the target audience, creating content for them and disseminating it on the right platform is what becomes paramount for content monetization per se, content planning. As far as monetization of content is concerned, the linear route of single cell advertiser doesn't work. The OTTs are working on subscription plus advertising model. Those who were only on subscription like a Netflix or an Amazon are now looking at advertising. Those who were majorly making money on only advertising base are now looking at bringing in subscriptions. So how does this metaphor work? The content is the pull. If I have great slick content libraries like a Netflix, I can ask for a subscription and people are ready to pay. But still that doesn't suffice my overall cost, and hence I have to look at a hybrid model. So for any broadcaster now, like all major broadcasters, at least in India, have their television channels as well as the OTT platforms. The challenge for them is that they would have one great content piece coming in a period of 3 to 6 months, or a property like IPL coming once, wherein the subscribers go up, the revenues go up, and then they start losing the numbers again. Then the way why OTT became big is for binge watching. If I have 10-part series, I don't have to wait for a next Thursday for the next episode to come in. I would binge watch it overnight and be done with it. But now, a lot of OTTs are coming over with series 1 and making people wait for the series 2 to develop that stickiness. Or the next episode would come after 1 million views will come on a YouTube channel, and people will be glued on. So interesting things are happening in this plethora of gamut of contents and its monetization. The best part, what remains is that we will need to have this hybrid thing going on, and acquisition of content should not be a race for people to bid higher and make losses. When IPL first happened, it was not that costly. When it became successful, it started becoming costly. When Big Boss returned on colors long back, they, in their desperation, sold CPRP deals, we bought it. And in the very next season, the monetization went off the roof. So, content planning and content quality is the king. We need to keep experimenting with the content which goes with the TG. There is enough and more audience available for, out of those 5% sports which are available on viewership, the balance people are still waiting to watch. In the drive to gain eyeballs and increase numbers, we have seen a good, lot of good big OTT platforms